Hello folks, well, here we are again. Here on the table I've got some pots I want to glaze. I just want to finish also what I was talking about yesterday when I was cut short because the camera battery went flat. So I just want to show you, carrying on from doing these toggles, you remember? And you saw me scratch the design on the side there. Okay, scratch on, engrave, impress a design, and you're going to take a little lump of clay like that to make these just incline the camera down a touch to where I am trying to show you this. Just take a little bit of slurry from your tray of your wheel and just put it there in the middle like that after you've keyed it a bit. Take your round lump of clay, push it onto there like that. Okay. You're probably thinking, well, what's that for? Haha. So push them on like that. Make sure that they're well and truly stuck on. Okay. Because these coggles now we need to bisque fire, so make sure they're dry as well, because they're quite a solid little lump of clay. Sometimes in fact I do put some little holes in there so in the bisque firing it breathes, because these little pointy bits that we're putting on here, they can blow off in the kiln. Okay, even if you actually make a good job of sticking them on, they can come off. So these decorating wheels, which we call coggles, another thing you can do, instead of putting these little pointy bits on each side, you can put a hole right through the center and put a wire thing with a handle that you hold. That's another way of doing it. This is just a simple way that I wanted to show you. This soft piece of clay represents a pot, okay, because I want to demonstrate how you're going to use these coggles. You're simply going to hold them between your thumb and your either your index finger or your second finger, either one, and then you can just run them over the surface of the clay like that, and it will leave an impression in the clay. Probably not all that visible. Depending on how deeply you cut these, how deeply you cut out these bits. Now these ones with this one, perhaps I could have made a little bit wider. Also, they've got a bit of clay already clogged in them. I see, because I was doing this earlier on, and I think some of the clay has got clogged in there. That is something to bear in mind when you're making a seal for impressing on the bottom of your work. When you cut the grooves in the little lump of clay, make them into a V shape like that. Do you understand me? A V shape. That allows then the soft clay to go in and come out. If you don't cut these little grooves in a decent V shape, if you just dig a sort of trench like that, the clay can get in there and clog inside. So you want to make it in sort of like a V shape like that, so the clay can come in and go out. I hope that's clearly understood. Anyway, that's coggles. Have a go at making some. And be original. You can make any design you want here. You can cut it in any way, and they're great fun for impressing into the soft clay. So I'm quickly just going to incline the camera down now a bit more onto the table. Maybe just bring it a touch closer as well. Sorry about this waving the camera around in here. So there we can see the table in front of me. I've also got some pots over there where I'm pointing under wraps, which I've got to trim. So I've just got a few pots here. I just thought I'd bring you in on it. There's, you know, I never know quite what I'm going to say to you when I'm doing this kind of thing. It's just, you know, I've got some work to get on with here, so well, you might as well see. But there's always something to be learned, isn't there? Make sure you dust your bisqueware, okay? Well, these in actual fact are only just going to be glazed on the inside. So I'm going to take the glaze, pour it in like that, comme ça, and then I'm going to just incline it so you're not quite pouring it out, but then rotate it. You see, like that, and you'll find then you'll get quite an even line. Okay, then pour out. Okay, and while it's still dripping, turn it like that so the drips go back inside, and then with your sponge, have a sponge ready with some warm water. Okay, and then it's wipe off, and it's done. Okay, finished. These ones are the ones that I did with the shellac. Not sure if that will come out on the camera, but these ones are those. So I'm trying to keep the raku sort of simple, not over decorating it. I find a lot of the raku is incredibly that one sees around. I don't know if you can see this as I turn it. A lot of the raku is very, what I describe as glitzy. Not very subtle. Tip it out like that, okay, and as it's dripping, then turn it over like that so the drips drip back on the inside. It's a good little tip, that. You won't find that in a textbook, maybe. So carefully wipe off, get a nice crisp clean line. Okay, and then another one of the shellacked pots. What else have we got here? Well, we've got some nut and bolt pots. They're ready for some glaze now, they say. So pour in, okay, turn it, incline it, bring the glaze up to the edge and rotate it like that, okay, and then pour out like that, you see, tipping it like that, but then we can let it drip a bit and then you tip it, continue it around like that so the drops go back on the inside. Then we're going to clean off the lip there. Little tricks like that, you see, that make the difference. Pour in, incline it a little bit, and turn it. You need to remember with glaze, you can get a build-up of coats or layers the more times you go round and round and round. Okay, over like that, so the drops going back on the inside, and then wipe off. And it does make a difference when you're doing this kind of thing. Wipe off as soon as you glaze. Don't, preferably, I'm saying, it's better to do that rather than to glaze all your pots and then come, especially if you're doing what I'm doing at the moment, this kind of work. You want to have the water there, wipe off immediately, because the glaze is still soft. align it, bring it up to the edge and just turn it like that. Now at first when you do this you might find you're a bit wobbly because you haven't been practicing. Alright, but you do a few and you'll find you'll get better at it and quicker at it. So that's that. I had some people writing to me and saying, oh, I'm not sure about this idea of doing this with a webcam. Not sure if it's a good idea. And I hope that it means that you're still going to carry on doing your YouTube clips. Well, I am going to carry on doing YouTube clips. I wasn't thinking of doing that as a substitute. It's just that I am aware that there are a lot of people who can't maybe get to a class. Maybe they can't afford to get to a class, maybe it's just geographically difficult, you know, and to be able to... I did this the other day with a friend of mine. We did it on Skype, and he was here in the US, a couple of hours away, and it was pretty good. It had some. It was a sort of test. It was. It was a case of testing it out because, you know, in fact, if there's any people out there who want to act as guinea pigs, I could do it, because what I want to do is a multi say start with 4 people, just see how it works. If anybody wants to be a guinea pig, write to me, simon.leach6@gmail.com, and say I want to be a guinea pig. I've got Skype. To be a guinea pig, you have to. I'm going to use Skype to start with, but you're going to need to download that and get that set up. And you really do need a webcam that's separate from your laptop. You're going to need a laptop computer. If anybody wants to be a guinea pig, it's just to test it out. It's just to see things like lighting and where to set up your camera. I've got one of those little webcams that's got like a clip thing, so I can clip it onto things here in the studio and angle it where I want to. So let's do one more, maybe this one. Better make that one the last one for this clip. Maybe this one we'll try and do. I'm going to just incline the camera down into the pot of glaze. I'm going to try and do a double dip. Remember, like we did before, I showed you? Double dipping. Now, I haven't got much glaze in the bucket here, you see, at the moment. But we are not daunted. And look, anything, by the way, anything that's got kind of like quite a lot of incised lines on it, decoratively speaking, on the outside, like here's another one, for example, this one that's like fluted and flecked. Make sure you really give them a really good dusting off, because you know dust can collect in and around there, then the glaze won't stick. Okay, so let's see if we can get this a double dip. Yeah, perfecto. Now that should be glazed on the inside, and you can see that it's glazed on the inside and on the outside, all in one go. So we're going to stop this clip now, and I've got those bowls there. I've got to get down to trimming them. I've been putting them off and wrapping them up and spraying them and wrapping them, and I've really got to do them. So, okay folks, from here in Barryville, Simon Leach saying, keep practicing. Hang on in there. Don't be discouraged. These things come with practice. Cannot be emphasised enough. Why do you think I keep saying it all the time? Keep practicing, because that's what it's about. But if you do keep practicing, I promise you will reap the rewards. Okay? Ciao. Bye bye now.